Welcome to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast, a relaxing and informative show where we explore anxiety, panic, and PTSD, sharing how you can overcome them for life.
Aloha! Welcome back to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Gina Ryan, and I am so happy to be with you again today as together we can consider the many ways to bring your mind and body back to its natural peace and calm. In today's episode, I'm talking about making an inner space of peace and calm. This is you making peace and calm inside yourself. Just this little space of peace and calm, your little oasis. I know we've talked about this before, but I'm going to guide you through a little activity to help you ground it into yourself, because the more that you can have this grounded into you and the more that you visit this place when you are not needing it, the easier it will be for you to pull it up during those moments like at work when things are just going too fast. You don't have to take 10 minutes and go to a separate room and close your eyes and meditate. You can just remember, follow those breadcrumbs back to this beautiful space of peace and calm that you have provided for yourself. You made this yourself because it's you. It's in you already. You just haven't been visiting it very often. So we have to do something to get back there. And that's why this little grounding exercise will help you to be able to have it more accessible to you by using your senses. This is a skill sheet that I actually wrote for the group coaching membership. And then I said it would probably be awesome to have it as a recording. So why don't I just do it as a podcast, and then everybody can actually enjoy making an inner space of peace and calm. And I want to start with a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, "Nobody can bring you peace but yourself." This is so important for us to remember and to recall when things are stressful, because I know myself, I can begin pointing fingers. If this would just resolve, I could feel peaceful. If that person would just do this or that or change, I could be more peaceful. And so forth. We all do this. And the more we can pay attention to the fact that we do it, the easier we will catch ourselves doing it and be able to make a different choice. And what could that different choice be? It could be, what can I do to bring myself my peace? And that's what I want to offer you today. An exercise to do that will just help you to remember that place inside you that is peaceful and calm, that is safe. And the more you can go there, the less you have to be pushing the panic button and having the amygdala sending you into fight or flight. We all have our favorite or habitual ways of distracting. And sometimes we need to do this. We need to distract during a crisis or when we simply can't process what is happening in the very moment. It's okay. It happens to us. But what I don't want to happen to any of you is to begin to do distraction as a habit, whether that's scrolling on your phone or eating ice cream, whatever it is. It can be something that started out as a good thing. It could be that you run when you are in need of some distraction, some moment to yourself to get away. But what can happen, and remember, I worked for many years, over 12 years, with people with disordered eating, which includes over-exercising. These healthy habits can also go to the extreme and then not be healthy anymore. Then It is no longer helpful to us, but it is causing us more distress, not only physically, but also mentally, because it isn't giving us the relief that we are chasing. So we want to watch the balance with our distraction. And so while we need to distract sometimes, we also want to be sure that we're not doing it as a habit. And one way to not distract from the moment is to cultivate an inner space of peace and calm, something just right there within yourself, so that you don't need to escape the moment, but access this internal resource that you can connect to that is peaceful, it is safe, and it allows you the space to relax and deal with what is actually going on. Having such a place to return to will not only give you a sense of feeling safe, peaceful, and calm, but it will save you from wasted energy fleeing from distress repeatedly. This inner space is one of your own, where you remember that you are safe and capable, that you can remain calm, and that you do have peace in your life. Visiting here, even momentarily, is a message to your mind and your body that all is well, even while dealing with a stressful situation. Because I want to say here that stressful situation does not mean emergency. The amygdala is meant to help us in times of emergency. But what has happened is in our daily lives of modern man, everything has become an emergency. An argument is an emergency. We hit that panic button and the amygdala goes to fight or flight over things that are not life-threatening. And so we have to do this ourselves, begin to tease out the emergencies from the stressful and distressing situations. The brain can reduce the need to press the panic button when you send that message that all is well. And then it can access the wise and conscious parts of your brain. Those are the parts that we want to have fully online when we are working with a problem or a challenge or a distressful situation. So the more that you visit this inner place of peace and calm, the more quickly you will be able to access it when you need it the most. It's like when I talk about meditation and that you need to do these practices quietly, on purpose, in a non-distracted state, over and over again. That's why we call it practice, because then when you need it, you'll be able to access it. But when we're just learning it, whatever it is, whether it's a meditation practice or a mindfulness practice, a metta practice, but what we want to be able to do is get there quickly, and we get there quickly by having it deeply ingrained in us. And so that's what today is about finding a way to ground ourselves with our senses into what this place is inside of us so that we can get there more quickly. Those breadcrumbs, we'll be able to see them and follow them back to our inner place of peace and calm. Give yourself during this practice time today and in the future, because I want you to do this over and over again. You don't need to spend a lot of time doing it, but just give yourself the luxury of doing this here and there, maybe even once a day. Maybe you could hook it onto your meditation practice or your gratitude practice. Hook it on somewhere. Stack the habit so that you will do it. Often we don't have space for something new, but we can add just another couple of minutes onto our meditation or just a couple of minutes onto our gratitude list. So give yourself during this practice time a quiet place where your phone is turned off or in the other room, and you have a do not disturb sign where everyone can see it, however you need to do that. So let's begin. If you're not in a place where you can really relax and close your eyes, just listen today, but then come back and do this again. You may even just remember it. It's not difficult. You can remember it and do it tonight, maybe during your quiet time. So let's begin by closing our eyes, if that is comfortable for you and you are in a space where that's appropriate, and taking a breath. I like to guide you to breathe through your nose as much as you possibly can. If you can't, well, you know what to do. Just breathe. And begin by remembering or imagining a place, a physical place, or imaginary place that brings a sense of peace and calm to you and where you feel safe. Again, this can be real or imagined, so experiment and see what feels most satisfying to you. Each time you practice, bring this place to your mind. Take a nice, relaxed breath in through your nose and just let it release slowly and fully as you keep your place of peace and calm in your mind. Continue to breathe in a relaxed and slow manner through your nose as you enter your place of peace and calm. Engage your senses to ground yourself in this experience. Begin by looking all around at the place with your sense of sight. What does it look like? Is it daytime or nighttime? What is the lighting like? Try to notice as many details as you can. Are you here alone? Are there other people or animals present? Are you out in nature or are you in a room of some sort? Next, move to your sense of hearing and notice what sounds surround you. Do you hear people or animals or nature sounds? Do you hear music or the wind in the trees or the ocean's roar? Remember, this is your chosen place. So choose something soothing to hear. Take a few breaths hearing the soothing sounds of your place of peace and calm. Next, move to your sense of smell. If you are in nature, what do you smell? The trees, the flowers. Perhaps it's rained and you smell the earth. Or a burning campfire. What do you smell inside if you are in a room or some structure? Is it fresh? Is something baking? Enjoy your sense of smell for a few breaths. Next, move to your imagination and your sense of touch. Can you feel your feet on the floor or the earth? Can you feel the wind in your hair? Can you imagine something soothing that you could be touching? Doing this in your mind. Finally, come to your sense of taste. Are you eating or drinking anything in your place of peace and calm? Choose something to taste that brings you joy and savor this moment and your sense of taste. Now take a few moments to explore this sacred place that you have created for yourself. recognize how safe and peaceful it is, and how relaxed and calm you can feel being here. This is your place of peace and calm. And you can come here whenever you want to take a rest and just be. When you are feeling overly emotional or you want to distract. Come here and let the mind and body rest for just a few minutes. To end your time in your sacred place, take a final conscious deep breath. Slowly open your eyes and smile. You have had this available to you, and now you are remembering how you can get there. It's there whenever you need. And like I said earlier, the more you practice going to your place of peace and calm, the easier it will be to come up for you when you have the need to be grounded, safe, and peaceful. I hope this has been helpful for you. I love being here with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. That's it for today's episode. And before I read today's quote, I want to remind you that if you want more than what's offered here and more personal guidance, you might be ready for our group coaching membership program. It's a deeper dive into what you learn here on these episodes. Each month, you'll receive 2 anxiety clearing skill sheets sent in email. You'll also receive 2 live group coaching calls, which are recorded in case you can't attend. Those will help guide you through your challenges. And there's also a secret Facebook group for coach and community support every day, all month long. So if you're ready for more, go to anxietycoachespodcast.com/group-coaching and join today. I'd love to see you in the group. And now for today's quote. Nobody can bring you peace but yourself. And that's from Ralph Waldo Emerson. I'll be back in a few more days with another podcast. Until then, be well and aloha.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. Find more information at theanxietycoachespodcast.com.